Nairobi.
Let's now move to related news. And public servants on Monday morning held demonstrations in Nairobi city centre over what they termed as an overtaxation by President William Ruto's government. Now, the angry public union members marched to the National Assembly buildings, where they handed over their petition that they warned of a looming countrywide strike from their members if the proposed finance bill of 2023 and the 3% house levy deductions on employees is passed. Willie Lusige reports.
As pressure mounts on President William Ruto against the Finance Bill 2023 and the housing levy, which has met a widespread opposition, public servants drawn from unions such as Kenya National Union of Teachers (NAT), Kenya University Staff Union (KUSU), University Academic Staff Union (UASU), Kenya Medical Practitioners and Dentists Union (KMPDU), KUDHEIHA and Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, among others, held demonstrations in Nairobi on the same.
Our main aim of petitioning Parliament is to ask Parliament to reject the offending proposals, taxes, levies, whatever they want to call it, even they call it tithe. We do not want that.
Against the backdrop of a major cost of living crisis in Kenya, public unions across the country slammed the proposed Finance Bill 2023 and government proposal to impose 3% housing levy presented by the Ruto administration.
The nurses of this nation are saying no to overtaxation.
Workers opposing the proposed increment in tax, which include raising the gross sales tax from 1% to 3%, doubling the rate of value-added tax VAT applied on petroleum products from the existing 8% to 16%, and applying various excise duties, among others.
They are going to even tax your pension. Na hizi pesa ambazo pia wanatuambia tuchange, there is no way they are talking about the interest that they are saying. The only thing that we can be able to see is you are going to pay tax at prevailing rate when you are taking your money back.
Terming the Kenya Finance Bill 2023 as an unfair and regressive legislation that favors the wealthy and corporations at the expense of working class and poor majority, insisting workers' unions were not involved.
We won't sit down to see them being overexploited by this government. They have negated their responsibility.
Engage the leadership of these workers. Don't engage one person and you think you have actually talked to workers. No.
The unions have also opposed the proposal to tax 3% of workers' monthly basic salary to fund a housing project. The Finance Bill seeks to introduce deduction of 3% on workers' earnings into the National Housing Development Fund, contributions to which were previously supposed to be voluntary.
The nurses of this nation are saying they have houses. So no taxation for housing. The houses that they are saying they are going to build, there are so many other alternatives. And we have no problem with them building houses, but do not raid our payslips.
Warning a major strike actions by public unions across the country if the bill says through and the housing levy is implemented.
Be on the watch when this particular bill gets onto the floor of the House. Look at the way your local MP is going to do what? Yes. Then make a decision.
If this bill, in the unlikely event it goes through, the strike will be on the next day. If we can be on strike for 1 month, Sakayo atashuka, na akikataa kushuka, tutang'oa miti.
Different workers' unions across the country have continued to oppose the 3% levy on workers across the country to fund cheap housing, saying that will be a bigger weight on them, especially during this time where the living cost is very high. Willie Lusige, KTN News, outside Parliament, Nairobi.
Let's now move on to news from the Lakeside, where members of the County Assembly of Siaya have today overwhelmingly voted